Please open in your learning workbook to page 124. Let's solve another problem. Use quadratic equations to solve real-world problems. Neglecting air resistance, the distance s of t in feet traveled by a freely falling object is given by the function s of t equals 16t squared, where t is time in seconds. The height of a certain tower is 866 feet. How long would it take an object to fall to the ground from the top of the building? Okay, so to solve a problem like this, my advice is, first, take the equation that's been provided for you and identify what are the pieces and parts and what do they mean. So the first piece and part we have is s of t. And in the problem statement, it says that s of t represents distance. So if I wanted to, I could write distance equals. The next part of the equation is t. And in the problem statement, it tells us that t is time in seconds. So if I wanted to, I could write my equation as distance equals 16 times time squared. I just need to remember that time is being measured in seconds, and the distance is being measured in feet. All right, so now that I have my equation written with an explanation, I can plug in to find the answer to my question. The height of a certain tower is 866 feet. That's a distance. So when I plug into my equation, I get 866 equals 16 times time squared. Of course, time is the variable t. I'm going to put that back the way it was. How long would it take an object to fall to the ground from the top of the building? Okay, in other words, how long? What amount of time? Solve for t. So we're going to solve for t here. And we can use this new tool that we learned, the square root property. First, let's swap sides so that the thing that's being squared is on the left. So we have 16t squared equals 866. We need our equation to be of the form something squared equals something. But what we have is something times something squared equals something. We need the 16 to go away. So let's divide both sides of this equation by 16 and see what we get. Divide by 16. Divide by 16. So now we're going to have t squared equals 866 divided by 16. 866 divided by 16 is 54.125. All right, now use the square root property. On the left, drop the square in any parentheses. On the right, put plus or minus square root. So we get t equals plus or minus the square root of 54.125. We pick up our calculators once more, and we do the square root of 54.125. And we get approximately 7.36. 7.36 what? Seconds. Time is measured in seconds. Now you might have noticed that I dropped the plus or minus symbol. Why? Because time cannot be negative. Think about it. If you go to the top of a building and you drop an object, and then someone asks you, how long did it take to fall to the ground? Would you ever say negative time? Certainly not. This is real life, not a sci-fi movie. So, our answer is just the plus part of the plus or minus, and we write approximately equal to because we rounded. T is approximately equal to 7.36 seconds.